venture into that space, maybe you want to call them and then get in touch with them as well. All right. So today's Friday, and we have been talking about discovering your purpose for the past 3 weeks, and today's going to be the fourth part of the conversation. And the usual suspect we've been having that conversation with is Hero Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah, a counselor, a teacher, a lecturer, a man of God, as well as many other parts that he does, and he's going to help us into that conversation. So we talked a lot about it. We talked about the principles of purpose, the philosophies, which we're going to use as a recap for today, and then venture into how to respond to your purpose, give us a case study of how it can guide you, and you also use that to find your purpose, as well as discovering your purpose. That will be the climax of the conversation today. Hopefully, all things being equal, we'll be able to go through that and then wrap it up for today. All right, so Apostle, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How is the family, the church?
By the grace of God, we are all doing fine.
Awesome. Regards to them all.
Yes.
All right. You still haven't bought your gun yet, eh? Yeah, I'm trying to.
I don't think I will need a gun.
Okay. All right. So let's shift gears. So
Yes.
let's do a bit of recap of the philosophies, and then we'll venture into the part where it says how to respond to your purpose.
All
Would
right,
that be a
so-
call? But TBB, and I said so. Say response is say oh TBB.
Yeah, apparently, if you know and you now understand that God created you for a reason, then there's a part of you. There's something you should also do. You understand? Normally, I tell people that the way you are designed, or God designed us to suit our purpose. I remember, I don't know that I shared that. I remember when we built our church auditorium, and the electrician who was supposed to do the installation,
I think you said it here last
yes,
time.
came around. He asked us specific questions.
Wow.
Based on what we are going to use. He now determined the kind of cables we are supposed to do. So it's the same way God thought about you. He knew what the kind of job He wants you to do, the kind of purpose or He has designed you to fulfill. So He worked at you for that purpose. Okay. So the moment you begin to now fight God, and normally I tell people, the moment I remember I was asked to speak about bleaching and this possession now, how women are changed. I said, look, the foundation is simple. The reason why people will fight God or want to change themselves, that they don't even know their purpose. It's true. That's the whole thing.
Very controversial.
Well, it depends on where you
because
stand.
we know that you are now going to fight against. You've been fighting for the women all the time.
No.
Now this war
I'm
you
not
can't
fighting
finish.
anybody, I'm saying that. So for instance, if you have a Bible, you can open to Isaiah 45.
Please welcome to the Bible lessons also.
Yes.
Just in case you don't know, Apostle doesn't talk without getting into the Bible to
Isaiah
implement what
chapter
he's saying.
45, a very important statement. Isaiah
right?
chapter 45 verse 9. The Bible speaking says, "Woe to you." So regardless of who, that doesn't matter who you are. The Bible is saying, "Woe to you," or woe to anyone who fights his maker.
Isaiah
45 verse 9.
Okay.
Woe to you. But the word woe there is anyone who fights with his maker. Are you there? So that at least you can confirm.
It says that what sorrow awaits those who argue with their creator.
So he said, let me get to it. He said, what
sorrow?
Sorrow. So I know there are anyone who argues with his word, maker. How do I do? Telling God that I don't like this part of my body. Listen, God, you made a mistake. You didn't think well. You should have thought through to know that yes, I deserve a bigger motor than what I have. I deserve a bigger breast than what I have. I deserve a light skin than what you gave me. The crack say, "Nyankopon nim say, or you do into design for that." But because you don't know, are you getting it? You feel like no, God made it. God did not make any mistake in creating anyone. That's the first thing we should know. God did not make a mistake in creating anyone. Can you imagine? Let's use Stephanie for instance. Can you imagine that God created her with dark skin? Perhaps God, for her purpose, she needs to be at the northern part of Ghana to carry out her purpose. Then she decides to now bleach and change this color, and now ends up in North. She will come back with cancer. You know why? The kind of heat we have there is different from here. Are you getting the point? He's so wise. God is so wise. I normally share this this story. There's just this gentleman with no arms and legs. He's called
Pastor
Nick.
Nick,
He's been
yeah.
preaching, the wise guy.
Yeah, he went almost around the whole world. He traveled to almost every country in the world. Now, there was a time he went to Vietnam. This is a country that you can't even stand out there and mention the name of Jesus. You'll be arrested. Yes, we can check it. Even Malaysia here, you can't do crusade. You can't stand out there and be preaching about Jesus. You'll be arrested. Vietnam, you can't. Now, this gentleman went to Vietnam, and for the first time on national television, the president was there. Almost everybody who matters was there. And they asked him, we are surprised. You have no arms, no legs, but you seem to be happy. What's the source of your happiness? He told me, I don't think you guys want to know. So we want to know, because you can't imagine somebody like you, and you're so happy. Say, yeah, my source of happiness is something I don't think you guys want to. Also, we want to know. For the first time, these guys stood on national television, spoke about Jesus, how the mom introduced him to Jesus, and how he has been his source of happiness. For the first time, nobody could arrest this gentleman. He spoke about Jesus and left the country without being imprisoned. Now, I normally, when I shall tell people, when God was creating this man and taking the arms and the legs, he had in his mind where Billy Graham couldn't go with the name of Jesus, where Renabon couldn't go with the name of Jesus, where Archbishop Duncan Williams couldn't go with the name of Jesus. I'm creating someone that he will take my name to this place. God is so wise. He never makes a mistake. God never makes a mistake.
Where you are threading, I'm even very careful of what to say right now. So, so in effect, but what has your physical figure got to do with your purpose?
It has everything to do with what God wants you to do. Do you know, as we sit here right now, there are some people, they don't even like to talk. Those are natural.
Introverts.
God knows why. There are those who can talk. In fact, from somebody like me, the moment you start talking, I don't even feel hungry. God knows the kind of job he wants. So he wired you from your physical appearance. He wired you for a reason. I was sharing this at one of my spiritual class, and I was telling them, if you maybe perhaps God designed you to be one of the best investigators in the world. So he gave you, maybe you may be a woman, but he gave you a masculine figure. Those people are now fighting to now change themselves.
Transgender.
It's so funny. God is wise. He gave you that for a reason, so that if perhaps you want to go to a Muslim community where you can get certain information as a woman, you can dress as a man and get certain information, because God designed you so that you can work effectively. You know, if you've gone undercover, you understand what I'm talking about. There are times you need to change almost everything about you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So he knows the kind of job he has given to you. People don't know. See, our problem is an average person on the street don't even know why he's on this earth. We think life is all about trying to work hard to pay our bills, get food to eat. Life goes beyond that. There is something God has placed. There's a reason God brought you to this earth. There's a reason you are alive. There's a reason you are breathing. There's a reason you are not dead. Every day people are dying. You are not dead for a reason. So don't just assume God made a mistake in creating me. That's why I love David. David made a profound statement. He said, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Do you know what it means? The word fearful doesn't mean he looks like no. He is talking about, look, if you are asked to carry a crate of maybe 10 crates of egg, you see how you carry it without fear. He said that's how God created. He created me with care. He created me with that kind of fear. God designed me in a perfect way. So the first thing to do is appreciate how God has made you. That's how you need to respond. You must. Because you can't fight God. You can't tell God is smart. God is so intelligent. And yet you are going to do. Because don't forget when you look at the principles of purpose, I told you, your purpose is never in your mind or in the mind of a parent. Your purpose is always in the mind of the creator. This chair didn't come out to say, create me like this or manufacture me like this. The purpose of this chair is in the mind of the manufacturer. Yeah. Your purpose is not in you. So if you are now fighting against the person who created you, because he knew the kind of job he wants you to do, he designed you in a way, and you're telling him it's like you made a mistake.
So, Rev, still on the same conversation, the change of physical appearance and all that. Mostly, such people do that at the prime of their ages, at the time that they've really excelled or successfully achieved something that they decide to change. So, a case in point, the Kardashians' father, who is now there, I don't know, he, she, their father has 10. Caitlyn Jenner, she's now, I'm struggling to even describe it. You see what I mean? A man that has now become a woman. but she's doing okay. She's okay. She's probably okay in her life. Occasionally look around. Some women who won't go and do extra breast, they put that whatever it is inside, and then some also do that liposuction to have extra, but they start to get more money because people start coming and they do their business. You know what I mean? The business that they do.
Normally, when I hear statement like this, then I feel so sad. You know why? Well, because our concept of somebody is doing well is so funny.
Okay.
Somebody is doing well so because he's driving, he or she is driving a car, because he or she is living in a mansion.
Because in my mind, they're supposed to start having a depreciation, sort of.
You're not getting my point. The life we are living, I told you, and when you started, I made the statement that God is so wise. There's a button in any one of us. All of us, you have a certain button. That is what we call the satisfaction button. That's why you can see somebody who is so rich and yet commits suicide.
Yeah.
Somebody who is so rich, but filthy rich. Somebody who is so rich to the extent that you wish you can even be his or a date man, and still tell you, I don't feel like I'm happy. To do well on this earth is to feel satisfied. It's not about driving cars. That's why people are driving cars, yet when you go close to them and they tell what they are going through, you wish. I remember there's a story, a video I watched, and the guy went to them and said, I want to be like you. And he said, and the man now opened something, said, do you want to be like this? It's also, if they tell you what they go through to even have a sleep, you wish, or you know, you are better off than them. You see, we've reduced life to material things. I'm not saying those things are not. We all need it. We have our cars, we have this. But like I said, there's something. That's why you go to. Do you know some of them, with all their money, some of them are even fighting to become the president because when you check the Maslow hierarchy of needs, self-actualization. Although they've gotten all this, they still feel that no, there's something I can do. That's why some of them even fight to become president. At the end of the president, they still feel that they are not satisfied. God is so wise. That's why I keep telling people your satisfaction, that's the key to life. Yes. It's not about these things. If like go and ask those people at the top that you think or you're envying or you're eyeing them, they will tell you they are not satisfied. God is wise. So the reason I'm so passionate about teaching people how to discover their purpose is that if you try it, if you get, you tell me, you meet me in time. See, when you begin to live in your purpose, I'm telling you, even though money is not coming to you, you still feel satisfied. I shared my story with you. Anytime I finish with some of this leadership training and you see pastors coming, big pastors, I mean, sometimes some of them cry and I know what's the truth, I respect them so much. They will come and sit under your feet, then they come, they are telling you how you have impacted them. Like, you feel so sad. It's like the whole world. Meanwhile, I've done programs, I've done job, I've worked, I've received 50,000 checks before. I mean, thousands of checks before. But I always tell people, this is a program I do. I even spend my own money. I spend full growing up and I don't charge, yet the satisfaction comes. And by the grace of God, there are people who are also sharing their testimony. That's how God designed. I tell people, God designed us for us to be helpers. Yeah. That's the whole focus. Okay. So the moment your life is all about what you are getting, you can never be satisfied. But an average person is trained to receive. We are always receiving. That's why we make friends based on what we can get. So before I even think of taking Stephanie as my friend, I'm like, what will I get from her? So if I don't get anything from her, then I get my point. Yeah. But God did not design us to receive. He designed us. That's why you can tell blessing, or there's more blessing in giving than receiving. There's that satisfaction you get. There's that fulfillment you get in giving. Can you imagine you are there, somebody tell, I remember there's this lady, young girl, it's a pastor's friend. But the pastor was having issues with the wife. The young lady called me and was like, Pastor, I'm going to school, but I couldn't get money. So I sent her. When I told her, throughout that time, I mean, it was almost a year for her to finish. She should always call me. So anytime she needs something, I'll just send her money, buy almost everything for her. She now finished she was in SS. As soon as she saw, she just started crying. I said, Pastor, I never thought I could finish this program. She just made one or two statements. And it's like miracle. Yeah. And I bet at the end of the day, beyond that, you feel like, well, God, like I'm happy. Yeah. At least you've been a blessing to somebody. Check almost everybody who is doing that. You tell you. So life is not about driving big cars. Okay. So don't say, oh, he's living well. And in fact, let me send this message to them. That's why even women who go through CS, they will tell you, I'm not the same again. You know why? Go and find out from them. any woman who has gone through CA will tell you, the things I could do, now I'm limited. There are things I can't come. You see, God designed and that's why in some ways, so there are natural ways of maintaining your body, natural ways. The moment I say come back and say criminal, things have changed. Into this little session, Nyaminyansa, he knows the kind of hormones that we hear our breast. Oh, produce our hormones in the question of that. Now watch it. No.
So Apostle, so are you putting CS under the liposuction?
No, it's just an
even with that
example
one,
that,
even with that one, they are suffering.
Yeah.
So the
How much more?
They are even taking certain way hormones and other things so from other places. Benjamin just said hormone that will breast be different from the world too. They don't know. So if you want to understand God, then you fail. We know why.
Apostle, I think this liposuction issue. Let's get into
it's part of it. It's part of it.
Tell viewers that it's always interactive. So your WhatsApp messages are always welcome, and you can start sending them. So we get into the thrust of the conversation. So the numbers is at the left hand side of your screen, and you start sending them, and then we talk about them. All questions that you have, you can send them in, and then we discuss them.
Apostle, a quick one. I know insatiable nature of man. It's there. Like you always want to get more. It's part of man. Was it not created by God, or it's we developed that appetite?
No, you see, all those desires are in man for a reason. That the need to do more is there. But like I said, I can't tell you, I did be amorous also. And even the intention. See, one thing about God is so wise that He judges the motive behind what we're doing.
Okay.
Do you know why somebody can give you a car and so God will call and say that this person did not do it by love? But to you, you may think, well, this person loves me. If not, why? He can't give me this car. But the motive, why did that person give it out? Are you getting it? So those are other things. But let me come back here. I was saying that with this liposuction, whatever they're doing there, I sometimes sit down and I laugh. You know why? One, the amount of money you are spending to me is not a problem because who knows? I don't know the kind of job we do. Yeah. But I asked a daughter, this is it permanent? So no. If you don't manage yourself, you still come back.
They counsel you, I'm told, that is 50-50 chance.
No, don't worry. Let me say it is. Let me say it is. 100%. It will be 100%. Okay, right. But I was asking, so will you come and say yes? You can do it and do it. I was okay. God bless you. Thank God. Now you have the money to keep on doing it. But when you now get to your 60s, 70s, 80s, where you can't do the kind of job you're doing now, but now maybe your first is there. You think your first is your property. It's like that's what you're using. Investment. So you're now using it. You get to that, and the rentals will come. The money you are getting now will not come. And the time things begin to now change. It's just those who bleach. Who do one young Kunibia, once a finance show bay, so sport, blast sport, and nothing in answer. Because Unya was a cancer, as I was saying, they say, you have to keep maintaining it.
Oh, but it's even in the Bible that we should keep our.
No, but you see, the point is, I'm not
only want to take a natural vow.
Hold on. But when was we in it, we are looking at the end effect, and there are many people because the media man, if you want to change it, man change you. Maybe we don't change our hair. You can treat it in process. A giant it's the same hair that we trim it. Yes, but you are taking a layer of. And there's a story of a lady who even died at Rich here. They were just trying, they had an accident. They were just trying to look for her vein. Well, bleaching vein. People are dying. You see, so the point I'm trying to make is we are reading about read it again, you read your version. So we are asking how to respond to your purpose.
It says, woe to him who strives with his maker.
Yeah, and how do you strive? The moment you make God feel that He made the mistake in creating you the way He did, you're fighting God. So it means you've already canceled everything because God gave you maybe these sneakers. Assuming it's these sneakers so that He's expecting you to walk a certain distance to do something. You are saying that you don't like this. You are going to wear a different one, which means you may not want the same thing. So the moment you begin to fight God from the way He has created you, you've already cancelled your purpose. Okay. So how do you respond to your purpose? Exactly. You must accept how God made you in the first place. Okay. Thank God for your mistake. That's what Paul can boldly tell us in Romans chapter 8 verse 28, that if you love God, if you get to that stage where you begin to, all things will work together. Even the things around you which you think are negative, God will put them together to work for your good. At the point in time, you're like, oh, God, thank God you made me this way. Because things you thought were negative will begin to work for you. I remember there was a story of one person who a woman in Sabakuecha, and she was never happy. She was never happy. She always cried. Why? Everybody has 5 fingers. Men come or 1 finger. Until a time in their life, she was almost about 25 years old, and they were kidnapped to be sacrificed, to be used for sacrifice. Then they brought all of them. They started killing them until they saw her. No. This person cannot be here. Now, when she left there, she started thanking God. The Lord, I thank you
for making me Musuakwala.
No, not 1 finger. She didn't have one finger. She didn't. Yeah. One was removed.
So that
meanwhile, she was always crying and like she felt incomplete. That's the point I tell people. God is so wise. He's so wise. So that's the first stage. So if you are watching us,
for who you are,
thank God. Okay. Thank God you are dark like me. Thank God you are fair like with Stephanie. Thank God and be happy for who you are.
Hey, I should be thanking God I have a diastema because people tell me it's a deformity.
Which one is deformity? I met a lady. The husband. She was like the husband says. No, so and then say who was when anyway. This is the same mouth and the lips and the microphone. To even have a pumping lips and the You see, this word is so funny. You see, to appreciate who you are. That's the first stage. Okay. Appreciate it. Always thank God. So that God can now use you in your purpose. Because He has created you for that. So one, the Creator determines the purpose of His creation. Always remember this. It is the Creator that determines your purpose. So He knows your purpose, and just like Jeremiah. You see some of this picture, you have to personalize it. He told Jeremiah, even when you were just a clot of blood, I knew, I formed thee, and I've already ordained you as well, a prophet. Sometimes it's time from our upbringing. Obi prophet no ntimi kasa, ontimi mompaye. Can that person? So most parents, because they also don't know the purpose of their children, they begin to compare their children. You are not like, you see, you're not gentle like your sister. You are not. Stop comparing your children. We have different purposes. We are not the same. Never compare your children, even when it comes to academics. Now, when I'm teaching on intelligence, I tell people most parents don't even. The teachers are supposed to teach. Some of them don't even know. Intelligence is so broad. We have different types. And each one of us, we all have our own unique intelligence that God has given to us. So there are some who are artistic intelligence, who have got artistic intelligence. They can look at Stephanie and draw you. Meanwhile, that person cannot read mathematics. That person may not even be able to speak good English. So when you go to school and you're doing well in English and you're very intelligent. Meanwhile, the person who is drawing is equally intelligent. Are you getting it? Somebody can put words down, put beat on it, and play. You're like, wow, this is music. Meanwhile, you can be a professor of whatever. If they do 20 years, you can't even write one stanza. I said that person is so intelligent. But because we've reduced intelligence to only academics, when you don't get the mathematics and then you are not. No. We need to broaden our horizon. We need to understand certain things. Are you getting it? So if you understand this, you will never even compare your children because this one is doing well in maths and this and that. So you are better. No, he or she is not better than anybody. You need to start looking at your children.
The potential.
What are their potential? What are the things God has equipped them with? We have a different gifts. Are you getting it? Someone may be very good when it comes to what? Keyboards and the rest. But the person who is doing well in mathematics and keyboard 10 years, 20 years, we are not the same. Yeah. Are you getting it? So we need to appreciate. We need to thank God. And if you're a parent, learn never to compare your children. The same way, don't you also compare. Most of these kids, we compare them, so they begin to lose themselves. They begin not to appreciate themselves. So normally when I'm even teaching on communication, you see, one of the elements in communication is that your intended meaning must correspond with the perceptual meaning of your audience. And our meanings are informed by our perception. So I can meet, let's say, Diego, and I'm like, wow, you look so handsome. Diego will be like, why do you want to insult me? Now watch it. I made a positive statement. Yeah. That's what I'll be thinking. Yeah. But the point is, every statement is neutral. Yeah. That's another distraction. Yeah. So never assume make us and Papa. No, hey, as Papa now. For all you know, you have.
Perception about myself that I'm ugly.
You have given a positive meaning to the color black. Yeah. So seeing Diego to be black, wow, you look so handsome. But for you know where he's coming from, They've insulted him while he was where to say. So to him, he has formed a very negative perception about the color.
Yeah.
He even wished that I do actually was not fair. So when I offend, I was in why offend. But normally when you're there, ain't any fair. And this is comes through some of the our nature, the kind of formation we give to insulting them here and there. You are this or that. The point is that we must appreciate how God, and the example next mother. Can you imagine dreaming babe and your son has no less, no way. But this woman was able to put that kind of confidence. Help this gentleman to build that kind of self-confidence and all this to the extent that where this guy has reached, I don't even think he will be a Tesika private Ghana eating alcohol. I reckon Obu 2 legs, 2 hands as you obey the prayer bono. So answer. So we should always remember it's the creator who determines our purpose. The next point is that which is created must not strive with his creator. Never fight God. Sometimes we fight God about the way he made us, the gifts given to us, and most of us, that's what we are doing. Why is that this one can do A, B, C, D? Media can only do one thing. It doesn't matter whether yours is 1 or 2. Appreciate it. You see, we envy people to the extent that we forget about what God has given to us. There are many people who shout every person on the street. He pretend to behave as if he doesn't have anything. God did not create anyone empty. Every one of us, there's something in you. Every one of us.
Yeah.
Your purpose was part of you before you came out.
It's not wrong if after discovering your talent, for instance, maybe you can speak, you're an orator, you feel like, okay, I like the way these people play the piano or the organ, and I want to learn. There's nothing wrong.
That's something we have different gifts that God gives to us. But you see, all these gifts are supposed to come and support your purpose.
Okay.
As I said, like I said, I'm into security, I'm into other things, as you know.
Yeah.
But the point is, they should all, you should align them.
Okay.
That's the whole concept.
Okay.
That's why when you understand it, then you never envy somebody. Because somebody can have the story about the talent in the Bible.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you have. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. And I tell people, see, this gift God gives to us, like I said, is to support our purpose. And it is the same thing that will also make you, take you higher. I tell people, it's not about the education, the English you can speak. Sure. The Bible will tell you it's the gift that will make way for you. Check all the great men that we can talk of. Are you getting it? Yeah. Some of them did not even did not even complete university. Most of them, most of the great men. Yeah. Recently, Shatawale, last 2 years, he was able to go and see the president of the country.
Yeah.
Professor Dodosin did he go there because he could speak good English or because we were in university? Not Chedi be Wunimu. Our friend Shatawale. And the sacred of so Mr. President Patron Open my for from You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why I keep telling parents. Yes, it is good to push your child to go to school. Education is just a springboard. Education, you see, there's a statement Apostle Makwata made. Said, when you miss your assignment, your destination is useless.
That's deep.
So, for instance, if I'm supposed to bring this phone to you, and I lose this phone along the way, yes, I can reach here, but why am I standing here? Coming here is useless. Yeah. So many of us have missed our purpose. So our destination life is useless. There's nothing you are holding. And you're going to look at one case study in the Bible. You appreciate. There are many of us who are walking, doing things. We are doing to us. We are making progress. Is it the fact that you are moving doesn't mean you are making progress? Yes, you are going. You are moving faster. Doesn't mean you are very good at what you're doing. Understand? So, and I tell people, that I just said that the fact that you can't do something, example, reciting the ABC, not able to speak good English, doesn't mean you don't have a purpose. All of us, we all have a purpose. Right. So let's look at one case study quickly. Yes. Let's go to the book of Second Samuel chapter 18. A very nice story. And I believe if you are watching us from who you just pick it, read it. Second Samuel chapter 18, reading from verse 19 to 33. The story is simple. At a point in time in the life of David, his own son rose against him. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. And he has fought against him. A whole lot of things happened. Now David then decided to use some spies and other people to infiltrate the camp of Absalom. So they chose people to run because David was hiding somewhere. So in case of anything, they can run and send information. One of them was a gentleman called Ahimaaz. In fact, he was the same boat of their time. The guy could run faster than anybody. You understand?
Yeah.
But a time came that the son of David, which is Absalom, died. And now the person in charge of them said, "We are not going to send Ahimaaz today." Ahimaaz said, "No, I must go. That is what we are going to read." Okay. Now check it. Why would the man tell you, "Ahimaaz, you are not going"? No, we have to read. So 2 Samuel chapter 18. Let's read from verse 19.
So then it said, then Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, said, "Let me run now and take the news to the king."
Let me run now and take the news to the king. Now look at the statement he's going to make.
How the Lord has avenged him and his enemies.
Now watch it. The moment he made this statement, because you're supposed to carry a news. And now this guy had a wrong understanding of the news. Why? As much as Absalom was fighting David, he still remains a son. Yeah. But this guy made, so normally when I'm teaching communication, I also use the same thing because understanding. When you don't understand the issue, when we are not the same way, we can't move together. How can two work together? So they agree. You are going to give a message to a king, and you are going to call his son an enemy. You won't come back. You die. Oh yes. But he still remains his son. So then when he said, "Oh, let me go. I'm so happy how God has avenged his enemies." Then the man said, "Oh."
And Joab said to him,
Joab said, "No.
You shall not take the news."
Then when he said, "No, you are not growing because you have a wrong understanding of the information."
You shall take
See,
the news.
that's what when you have a wrong understanding of yourself, it means you've already cut short your life. You are living, but you are dead. You must understand why God made you the way He made you. Why you are this, why you are that. God, like I said, you are wired for a reason. The moment the guy missed the understanding, he lost it. He said, "No, you are not going today." Now let's continue.
But today you shall take no news.
Today you are not going to take any news.
Because the king's son is dead.
And look at it, because the king's son is dead. Yeah. You are looking at
enemies.
Your enemy. But I'm saying the king's son is dead. Yeah. Okay, let's continue.
Then Joab said to the Cushites, "Go tell the king what you have seen."
All right, now watch it. Joab did not tell the Cushite what to go and see and go and say, but he said, "Go and tell the king what you have seen." Let's continue.
So the Cushite bowed himself to Joab and ran. Mm-hmm. And Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, said again to Joab, "But whatever happens, please let me also run after the Cushite."
Now you have no information.
What are you?
But yet you want to run. You're asking. I'm happy you are saying. That's what many people are doing now. We are busy running. That question, is it your purpose? Yeah. The ministry you are heading, the church you are doing. Have you heard from God that indeed this is the assignment I'm giving to you? There are many pastors today. God has not called them to be pastors. There are many things, like I said, that's what we are doing because we think it's our job. So that's what your intention will be there. I have to make money there. Purpose is so deep. You have nothing. Yet you say, "Let me run." Let's continue.
So Job said, "Why will you run, my son?
Since you have no news. You have no news, so why will you run? Why are you doing what you are doing? Because since you have not been told, you don't know yourself. Are you just doing try and error? That's why we keep moving from one place to another. I mentioned those of us, or those of you who are watching for the first time, we spoke about having your job and your work. We say your work is your purpose, and your job is what you use to feed yourself, your skill. So you need to build yourself. Yes, you have to do something, but you must equally identify yourself and have your purpose. You understand? So our conversation is on purpose. All right.
But whatever happens, he said, "Let me run."
Let me run.
He said to him.
So he insisted, and that's what today many people are in ministry because of envy. There are many pastors who are in ministry because of envy. Mm-hmm. Because you watch a man of God who cannot even preach well, and yet he has large congregation of wow, I can even do better than this person. Then the next day you also, because you feel you can do better. The reason why this man is insisting is that he's looking at the Cushites like, I can run better than him. Many of us are doing their thing. So you watch somebody on television, maybe on television because of the same thing. You meet somebody in the back of crying and so the TV says, I can even do better. I even have the physical whatever, so I can do better. The moment your motivation is I can do better, you've already missed the mark. You've missed it. Life is not competition.
But sometimes that also opens an opportunity for you, don't you think? So let me give you an example of my life, personal life, how I got a job on radio. So I had monitored a particular show for a while, and I realized the host of the show wasn't available, but somebody was deputizing, more like sitting in. And I listened to the accent and then the kind of songs the person was playing, and I was like, no, I can do better. So I picked my phone, called the host, who was then also the program's manager, And I told her, no, I can do better than what the person is doing. He said, okay, you sure you can do that? I said, yeah, what have you done before? I mentioned my profile. And he said, okay, come and see me. So I went with my CV and with a recording of a few things that I've done. She paid a listen to it, and then she was like, okay, that's good. I got my opportunity to work with them.
What a coincidence.
No. It's not coincidence. Because it falls under job. Your work, you don't compete with anybody. That's the point I'm saying. So we are talking about work here. There is job.
Okay.
After job, it's competition.
Okay.
Are you getting it? It's skill.
I get it.
So you only be called when you can do better than somebody. But with work, we have unique purpose. No, your purpose is not my purpose.
Okay.
So it's not about because you can do better than me.
Yes.
You can be here and be doing it, but that is not your purpose. That's like a human.
Okay.
We are discussing purpose.
Okay.
So you see, because we have gotten the understanding where we think life is about when you understand your purpose and that's what I'm saying, your uniqueness. Don't forget we made that sentence. Your uniqueness, your purpose, they are all interdependent.
Yes.
So you can only be unique when you discover your purpose.
Okay.
What separates you from others is your purpose. But as for job, since you can learn how to fly a plane, she can equally learn and even outsmart you will do better than you.
Yeah.
Because with job is scale. We are building our skills. So anybody can work so hard and become better than you. But with purpose, nobody can become better than you. That's why you must work hard to identify your purpose.
Okay.
All right, so let's continue. So you must, son and sister, let me run. All right.
So he said to him, run.
Then he says, run.
Yeah.
So I tell people, God may have given you the opportunity, the permission to do, but it doesn't mean he agrees with you. Yes, so you can also start a ministry and the next day you have more than 10 times congregation. Are you getting it? Better than even the person. It doesn't mean that is your purpose. It's job.
Okay.
With purpose, it's unique. Let's continue.
Then Ahimaaz ran by way of the plain and outrun.
And because he knows all he was able to use a short route and outrun the Cushite. The messenger now just run with a message, Ahimaaz become sign on. Just to prove, say, I can run better than you. Like I said, there are many people doing things. To them, the thing say your main purpose. If it's your job, I don't have a problem with you. But if it's your purpose, then there's no competition.
Now David was sitting between the two gates, and the watchman went up to the roof over the gate, to the wall, lifted his eyes and looked, and there was a man running alone. Then the watchman cried out and told the king, and the king said, if he is alone, there is news in his mouth. And he came rapidly and drew near.
All right.
Then the watchman saw another man running, and the watchman called the gatekeepers and said, there is another man running alone. And the king said, he also brings news.
Okay.
So the watchman said, I think the running of the first is like the running of Ahimaaz.
They clearly identify his running. He's so skillful when it comes to running.
Yeah.
So the fact that you are skillful in something doesn't mean it's your purpose.
And the king said, he is a good man and comes with good news.
All right.
So Ahimaaz called out and said to the king, all is well. Then he bowed down with his face to the earth before the king and said, blessed be the Lord.
Now look at the
your
statement
God.
Ahimaaz is going to make. He's going to agree, blessed be the what?
Be the Lord your God,
Okay.
who has delivered up the men who raised their hand against my lord the king.
After saying this, a question is going to come from David.
The king
Check
said,
the question whether the king, he has said all this, and
Yeah.
the king is going to ask a
the
question.
king said, is the young man Absalom safe?
He never spoke about my son or my enemy. Is a young man Absalom safe? A simple question. Is a young man Absalom safe? All right.
Ahimaaz answered, when Joab sent the king's servants and me, your servant, I saw a great tumult, but I did not know what it was about. The king said, turn aside and stand here.
Hold on. So why were you even running in the first place? There was I don't know even what happened. So why are you here? So the statement was stand aside. I'm sorry to tell a lot of people watching us. You can be a man of God, you can be anybody. On Judgment Day, many of us are going to hear that word. Stand aside. Yes, you've run. You've even done better than the great men of God.
Yeah.
But the question is, why did you do? Why were you even in ministry? Why are you on television? Why are you a presenter or a host? That's a simple question. Why?
Yep.
All right, let's proceed.
So he turned aside and stood still. Just then the Cushite came, and the Cushite said, there is good news, my lord, the king, for the Lord has avenged this day of all those who rose against you.
So look at the same statement, the same greetings.
Yeah.
Then the question is coming.
And the king said to the Cushite, is the young man Absalom safe?
Now watch it. the same question also came to the Cushite. David did not change. So they think, oh, say we question is the same question. Because he's there for a reason. He knows they were sent for a reason. Per their communication, they will come and let him know the status of the son. So is the man safe?
So the Cushite answered, may the enemies of my lord the king and all who rise against you do harm. Who rise against you to do harm be like that young man. That was the answer.
So you see, so look at how he coded the message. Because he's speaking to a king. Not to do it, your son or the enemy. No, he coded the message. And as soon as he coded the message and gave to the king, look at what the king did.
Then the king was deeply moved and went up to the chamber over the gate and wept. And as he went, he said thus.
Now watch it. The king now decoded the message, started crying. And in all his lament, in all the message or the way he never mentioned or made mention of the person or the son being an enemy. He said, oh my son. Let's hear it.
Oh my son Absalom, my son Absalom. If only I had died in your place. Oh Absalom, my son.
So regardless of how this young man was even treating the king, this man was ready to even die for his son. So imagine he must have gotten and said your enemy. One word in TVG. You mean there's a story like that. When Kesau was killed and a young one wanted to now finish him well, went now to boast in presence of David. So Makuno or no one Kufi. You are talking about David. Are you getting the point here? So he must run. But now the first person is he was to stand aside. I pray your life. Or there are many people who are going to hear that statement. Stand aside. You in Ghana, you may be one of the biggest preachers. Yes, everybody is hailing you. But God will be telling you, stand aside. Because was it your purpose to do that? You will be one of the best broadcast journalists that you can, this country can boast of. But the question is it your purpose? You understand? So I tell you, there are many who are running a race. God did not tell them to run. They are doing it because everybody is doing it. Many people. There are so many things people are doing, but God is not in it. What it means is that whenever it is a purpose of God, then God is part of it. Because purpose is God himself. Because purpose is God's word that he has built in you. So whatever you are doing, he must be part of it. Are you getting it? So it's not about how well you are doing, but it's God in. That's why today you can have big companies, bigger, but they don't even have God. They don't even know Christ. They're not even worshiping. They don't even believe in God. Are you getting the point? So the fact that you see something big doesn't mean God is in it. That's why I was saying the way we define the way people are doing well is relative. The same way when you're even talking about success. Success is relative. Are you getting it? Somebody said I'm a successful parent. Why? Because this is how I wanted to raise my kids and I'm able to do it. That means he had his own standards. You may also say you are successful because maybe you wanted your children to have money, whether they will do sakawa or whatever. All you wanted them to do was have money. So I may look at it, your children are wayward. How can they be doing? Are you getting? So to it's relative. What you may even see as success may not be success. So God knows what he wants each one of us to do. Always remember that. He has built his purpose in us. So to us, we are coming down. What the first we must know is that, like I said, your purpose is not in you. Your purpose is in the mind of God. So the question, how do you discover your purpose? Very important. How do you discover your purpose? The first principle, and that is another important point. I always tell people, there are many who have, through there may be some prophets, and then God has spoken to some prophets to tell, it's not many. God opened my eyes, and so that with this and that and that, those things are there. But personally, I always tell people, you must learn to go to God in prayer. Oh yes. Sometimes through your own passions and like I said, the thing you can do with ease. Because we are not the same. So through the way God has designed you, you can just pray to God, and you will be so amazed how God will speak to you. That look, this is what or why I made you the way I made you. Are you getting God? Like I said, the giftings in you are there to support the work He has given to you. Always remember that. So you are not outside. That's why your purpose is not outside you. It's already in you. That's why normally when I even tell people, when you are even working in an environment and the moment they take money out, you can't do it. I'm sorry, stop it. Because you can't be yourself. Even when it's a job, I normally say this because it's about passion. Anything you're doing, the fuel, it's about passion. When you're not passionate about something, you can't excel in it. So if you're a presenter and they say, okay, we can't pay for let's say 1 year due to maybe, we expect this COVID lockdown and the rest, due to we can't pay for a year. Can you do it? Because it's about passion. There are some within 1 month.
I did once upon a time in my life. I did almost 1 whole year without pay.
Yeah. It's about passion.
So
It's about passion. No, that's about. I'm saying even if it's job. I'm saying it when it is job. That's why many people are moving from one job to another because when passion is not there, passion is the fuel for everything we do. That one is neutral. I'm not saying because of your work or your job, but that one's another thing. You must always remember, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, stop it. You don't even bother. You fail. Are you listening? You fail. See, when you are passionate about what you do, you learn more about it. You are constantly trying to see how you can improve what you are doing. Now, if the passion drives you, and you see, I normally tell people that when you're looking at philosophy, we talk that purpose gives you motivation. Motivation have intrinsic and what extrinsic. Purpose is an intrinsic motivation, and it is fueled by passion. So you are not doing it because somebody will hail you, somebody will say thank you. You are motivated to do it. You enjoy doing what you're doing. You are happy that somebody's life is changing because of what you're doing. It drives you. But if your motivation is external, that's extrinsic, because somebody will say take 1,000 increment or take this, then that person can equally discourage you. Whoever motivates you can discourage you. Of course. Can demotivate you, right? Yeah. Anybody who has the power to motivate you can demotivate you. Yeah. Because that person can just withdraw the motivation and like, I can't do it again.
We've got some few messages. So
I have a message from Christopher from Kwashibu. He says that please tell the pastor to read Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse
We should rather tell him.
Ecclesiastes chapter 9 verse 7.
Okay, let me look for it whilst you go on to it.
I think that's the question, the message that is in
Ecclesiastes chapter what?
9 verse 7.
9:7.
9 verse 7. So if you have a message out there,
it says, go eat your bread with joy and drink your wine with a merry heart, for God has already accepted your works. That's it.
When I read the continuation, I'm thinking it's talking about the liposuction issue.
Rather.
Yes, it says, let your garments be always white and let thy head lack no ointment. Live joyfully with the wife whom you love all the days of your life. Wear fine clothes with a splash of cologne. Yeah. Live happily. Yeah. So I'm sure it's the liposuction issue. So enjoy. So to him, it doesn't compare with what the person is saying physically.
Maybe. Well, his opinion. It's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Was that the only message?
Yeah, that's
okay. All right. So, well, I want to believe that some part of it also has to do with, and drink your wine with a merry. So forget to be a sort of. Yeah. I'm not sure you want to respond to this.
No. I don't know. I'm trying to even decode the message. This message, you can't even know whether.
Yeah, because it doesn't start from the beginning. It says, go, eat your bread.
I'm trying to.
With joy.
I can't even start that.
And drink your wine with a merry heart. For God has already accepted your works. It says, so whatever you're going to do, no, you're going to like wajia sort of. So don't bother about. Whatever. Eat.
You are trying to.
I'm trying to.
But
no, I'm trying to understand what the Bible is saying.
But don't forget, I made a statement that understand the meaning you assign to a message. So the meaning you are going to assign may not be the meaning, his intended meaning. Yeah. And that's why I don't want to do that for him.
Okay.
I may be wrong. Are you getting it? I may be wrong. I just gave an example that I can say you are so handsome, but you rather will telling me, why are you insulting me? Perhaps I will feel I'm making a positive statement, but because you don't see that color, dark or black, whatever it is, as beautiful and handsome, you disagree with me. So the fact that you are saying something doesn't mean the same thing you will have. So I'm trying not to. I'm trying to decode it from where and what he's saying. But I can't even get it. So perhaps if you can bring us additional information. Yes, but this is why he's saying ABCD. Then I don't want to.
We have one last message and then you wrap it up on total for us.
Okay, it says, good morning, Diego and Stephanie, and good morning to Apostle too. Please, my question is, Can you discover your purpose through your job? Can you discover your purpose through your job?
Yeah, I think, like I said, there are some who have changed their work to their job, and there are some, like I said, you can be doing it, and earlier you've already made it your job, but later God can open you up to let you know that what you're doing rather is your work. That's what. When you get there, then you need to now take money out of it. Are you getting it?
Yeah,
money should not be your focus then. Your motivation should not be money. Because see, when you talk of purpose or your work, as I've said, always remember the scripture I gave you, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. God built in all these things in us so we can bless people with it. Okay. And that blessing should go to everybody. Like the statement they made about Jesus, all men seek thee. So whether they're rich, the poor, the tall, the short, everybody. So that the more you bring money issue into, you're going to now prevent people from benefit. Then you've changed it from your work to your job. Sure. So then when you discover this is my work, everything, the focus is it should be a blessing to humanity. That should be your understanding. That should be your motivation. Okay. Like I said, if somebody comes and says, I want to bless you with this, you take it, but you don't monetize it. You don't monetize it. That okay, so if you're a pastor, you discover the work that you're doing there as a pastor is your work, your assignment. That moment you need to take money out. I went into ministry because I knew this is what God wants me to do. Because I was doing my own business, I was doing stuff. But so since I entered ministry, I've never charged, I've never taken a salary. It's my work.
All right.
This is what my life depends on. That's what I was saying. So woe unto you if you don't do it. So this is what you need to do. So money should not be part of it. Like I said, people can appreciate what you're doing, fine. But don't make it like, wow, so somebody calls you and say, Pastor, I need to come and speak and say, okay, I'll charge you this. Never. Yeah. I was saying this to somebody like, if I come and you don't give money, just when I'm leaving, you come a day that come and preach, I'll still come and preach again.
All right, so that's how we choose to wrap up the conversation for today. And of course, the entire week it's been awesome. It's been great from Monday till today. Coming here, having a conversation just to inspire your wellness. That's essentially what we do here on HSTV, and it's been a healthy morning. Thank you once again, Hero Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah, a counselor, a father, a mentor, a security analyst, almost everything into one. A TikToker, yes, that one too, very important. The father of girls also, who's going to buy a gun with me. And I was here. My name is William Jacob Parker, and I was here with.
My name is Stephanie Ejochina.
And Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah is on all social media.
Oh yes, yes. Don't forget to follow him. All social media handles: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, anywhere. Twitter, Instagram. Everywhere. He's everywhere.
Thomas Kusi-Appiah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. So see you next week, God willing. Enjoy your weekend and be good.
Some are really go hate you, some are really go love you, and some are really go hate you. Yeah, we don't wanna kanga, we don't wanna tonga bana kanga, but for you the ballet, yeah, we don't wanna go on, yeah, we don't wanna kanga la kanga, yeah, we don't wanna kanga, living in the world, my sister. Some are really go love you, and some are really go hate you. Yeah, we don't wanna kanga, there is no fear.